Hey guys, it's Eric. I got the week 11 power rankings. Well, no, not gonna spend a ton of time on power rankings. I did post them to Facebook yesterday when I thought that I completely lost my spreadsheet. I about threw up yesterday. But yeah, before we get into the usual discussion that I have, I got some of the craziest emails from some of my students this past week. Now I've changed their names because I don't want to get in trouble with Grand Valley. Giving out my students' names and all that. So anyway, I just want to share some of these emails with you. Email number one, Dear Prof H. I know that I have not tried in your class the first 75% of this semester, and I know that I traded away my cheat sheet for exam 2 to another student, even though I knew that my cheat sheet would continue to help me in my overall pursuit of getting a passing grade. I don't think that it's fair that I'm sitting here with a failing grade. Would it be okay if I pulled a few of your fellow professors to see once if there was anything I can do to get this passing grade? Thanks, Derek. Derek, I'm sorry. I mean, you haven't tried at all. You're not even close to passing this class. I don't know what polling my fellow professors. I don't know exactly what that's going to do. So I'm sorry. You're almost for sure going to fail my class. Better luck next year. Second email, Professor Hemholt. I know that at the beginning of the semester you handed out a syllabus that went over all of the rules and expectations for your course, but to be honest, it was really long, like 4 pages long. How can you expect anyone to have time to read over all that information and understand it all? I know that you said that we can ask you any questions anytime about anything, but instead, I'd rather complain about things after they happen. Maybe there's another way you can get information out to your students. Could you, tweet at me or something? I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. Doug. Doug, I don't know what you expect from me. All of my expectations, very, very clear. 4 pages, not that long. Yeah, if you have questions, just ask. You can ask me. You can ask one of my fellow professors. You can go to the stats office. I know that there's a guy named Mike Mostrom that would answer a lot of your questions too. It was all laid out there for you. You really shouldn't have a whole lot of complaints about that. Third email. Greetings, Mr. H. My brother is in one of your sports statistics classes, and he mentioned to me that you like to talk about your other sports statistics class like anyone in his class cares about the other class. Now, the other class might be a little bit more advanced, and there might be some good discussion that happens over there that would be really good for my brother's class to hear, but it really makes him feel inadequate when you talk about them. Sort of like someone mentioning their ex-girlfriend to their current girlfriend. I hope you understand our frustration, Dustin. Dustin, I'm sorry that your brother feels this way. Yeah, my other sports statistics class, there's a lot of good discussion that happens in there, and I like to bring up stuff from that class into your brother's class. I use some of your brother's class discussion in the other class, and the other class doesn't seem to have any issue with it whatsoever. There's good thoughts, good discussions that happen in both of those. So yeah, I'm going to bring those up in both of the classes. I've got a fourth and final email here. Looks like it's from some Derek L. and Justin. Let's quick open this up. Oh, never mind, it's blank. They don't have anything to say. All right, now that we got done talking about all those emails, I'm all caught up on my emails and everything. Let's move on to the week 11 lines. Yeah, this week, last week we had, the 6 best teams going against the 6 worst teams, and 5 of the best 6 teams were able to win. I was not. So congratulations to Derek last week. This week, 5 of the 6 best teams, quote unquote, so the teams with the best record, top 6 in the power rankings. 5 of the best 6 teams play against 5 of the worst teams. The only matchup between 2 of the better teams, Mike Mostrom plays against Andy. And Mike is actually a pretty big favorite here. Andy's got a lot of bye issues this week. So up to this point, I'm the only one that's been able to take down my brother. I think Mike has a pretty good shot at it. Yeah, let's just go through all the matchups. So I'm the biggest favorite this week, not according to NFL.com, but NFL.com sucks. But I'm a minus 285 favorite over Derek Newberta. Derek Newberta. I just got an email from Derek. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. Dustin is the next biggest favorite over Mike Samuels. Dustin minus 200. Mike Samuels plus 160. Scott is the next biggest favorite, minus 180 over Derek Mostrom plus 145. Already talked about Mike Mostrom over Andy. Mike minus 170, Andy plus 135. Jason minus 170 versus Derek L plus 135. So again, I've said this for about the past 4 weeks, it seems like. I'm favored to win. Derek L is favored to lose. So in theory, by the end of this weekend, I should be back tied with him, and there will be more on that coming up in a little bit. And then in our Kia Sorrento matchup of the week, Doug is a minus 125 favorite over Jared plus 100. The East Division. Like I said, I still like my chances in this, and in fact, it is an absolute crapshoot between Derek L. and myself. We are both at minus 110, even though I'm on a 4-game losing streak, even though I haven't caught him yet. I still have a decent shot of getting there. Andy may mathematically have the North wrapped up. Pretty sure of that, actually. The South, Dustin is a minus 320 favorite over Jason, plus 255. And in the West, all 3 teams are still on the board. Mike is a minus 355 favorite, Scott plus 375, and Derek Mostrom at plus 1,700. Real quickly, the championship odds, Andy plus 165, Mike Mostrom plus 400, Dustin plus 425, Jason plus 725, Scott plus 875, myself plus 1,700, Derek L plus 2,800, Derek Mostrom and Doug both plus 8,500. I did a couple new things with my spreadsheet as well. Actually, I did want to talk a little bit more about some of the old stuff that I did, update you guys on those things. Mike Mostrom has wrapped up a better record than Mike Samuels, with a possible exception if Mike Samuels just went off, won the rest of his games. He would have to outscore Mike Mostrom by like 400 points the rest of the way, and Mike Mostrom would have to lose all of his games. Not likely going to happen, so congratulations, Mike Mostrom. You'll be swapping picks with Mike Samuels, and that worked out in your benefit. Update on Eric versus Doug. We both have the same record right now. I've got more points than he does, so I have the tiebreaker over him. Based on projections the rest of the way, I have an 86.1% chance of having a better seed than Doug. So there's an 86% chance that this trade benefits me in terms of the draft picks that were exchanged. And I also talked about the probability that Scott finishes with the most amount of points, but still misses the playoffs. There's still a 12.4% chance of that happening. Looking ahead a little bit, there's 2 critical matchups that happen in Week 13, the very last week of the regular season. First one in Mike and Scott's division out west. According to my calculations, there's a 65.6% chance of the winner of that game determining the division. So if they get to that game, as long as they're within a game of each other, in the overall standings, they're within a game of each other. In the division standings, the winner of that game, I think will win the division. It might come down to a points tiebreaker, but they're both really, really close to each other on that. And then in my division, we're both minus 110 to win the division right now. Because of that, it could come down to the very last game. I am a game behind Derek right now. I get to play 2 of the weaker teams, and if that offends you, I apologize. But I get to play Derek Newberta and Mike Samuels the next 2 weeks. In theory, I should win both of those. Derek L gets to also play Derek Newberta. And I'm blanking on who else he plays. Oh, it should be this week. And he's playing Jason. So he's got a little bit tougher schedule. Jason has a better team than Mike Samuels. And even if we both go 0-2, or we both go 1-1, or we both go 2-0, it will just come down to the winner of that last matchup. because I will be one game back in the division. I will be overall one game back in the division. I should win the points tiebreaker. I don't think he's going to outscore me by 200 points over the next 3 weeks. I guess that is possible. But yeah, both in the West and in the East, it's the division likely to come down to that final weekend, which is what it's all about. And I know that I'm not supposed to mention the other league, but that's why I set it up that way, where the division matchups are towards the end, so that there's a lot of jockeying that can happen in the final couple weeks. Yeah, there I go. I gave you my go-to word. Yeah. Feel free to check out the spreadsheet. I'll throw it back up. Check out the graphs and stuff like that. If you were completely butthurt by my emails that I sent earlier, I don't mean any of this. Yeah, this is all fun and games. So please don't be butthurt. Have a great week. Peace.